Welcome to the ABCs of Home Improvement on WRCR. This is your weekly radio encyclopedia for all your home improvement projects. Featuring Laborio Durario, your friendly neighborhood architect, Mike Ash, Bill Barshow, and the cool tool girl, Elizabeth Bushy. They're ready to take your calls and answer questions about your home improvement projects. Call now, 845-362-0013.
Good morning, folks out there in Radio Land. It's that time again, the ABCs of Home Improvement, here to give you the knowledge you need for your home improvement projects. Put down your cup of coffee, give us a call here, 362-0013. We're on our 8th show now. We are broadcasting live from Boulder Stadium, and we have a few things to mention here at the start of the show. Number one, Torn Valley Vineyards. Our friends at Torn Valley Vineyards open every Saturday and Sunday, 11 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Rockland County's only working vineyard. Old world European vineyard charm nestled in the historic Torn Brook Valley. With the magical Torn Valley, wine tastings, music, and great food. They have a special event today, so I want to just bring that to your attention since it's a nice day outside. Every time we start the ABCs of Home Improvement, we seem to bring a little sunshine to the world. So up there at Torn Valley Vineyard today, they have the Tuxedo Motorsport Rally, a wine tasting all day of the full variety of 8 wines for just $8, all sold by the glass or the bottle. They offer selections of New York State craft beers as well as a variety of fine spirits. Their cafe is open till 5, and they'll be serving fresh panini sandwiches, chicken wings, cheese platters, dumplings, salads, and burgers for all you folks that have a little time to go up and have some wine and tasting. They have live music today by Tangent and the hip replacements, not the hip hop replacements. The car rally and live entertainment starts at 1 p.m. and goes till 5. Come up there. It's a dry weather only event, which we have today, so no reservations are required. Go up and see some of the old steel there. My good friend George from the MG Place is running that show, and they have Maserati there and Porsche, and you'll be able to I don't know, maybe you'll be able to tear up the vineyard. I don't know. Maybe you can get behind the wheel and tear up the vineyard a little bit. Do some, what we used to call lawnies in the old days. Also want to mention Marcello's big event that he's having at the Lafayette Theater tomorrow. I've been going to those for many years with Giada Valenti. Great show, great dinner afterwards. And Totono, Claudio, is going to be singing there as well. They have a couple of sopranos and a couple of tenors there. So go and see that. That's Sunday at 2:30 at the Lafayette Theater. There are still tickets available. So that's what we have. I'd also like to thank Ray Bolson for coming in last week from Supervision. He's got some great stuff here, and we have some giveaways from the Magic Hat. So we want to thank Ray. We're going to go right into our our Magic Hat giveaways for you folks. We have a couple of things we're giving away. We also want to let you know, get the phones ringing a little bit. If you just call in and say, I love the ABCs of Home Improvement, and you ask us a home improvement question, we're giving away some free prizes today. iPhone 4S alligator cases, iPhone 6 Plus alligator cases. We have a book from our friend Dave March, who was on from Solar City, Vision in Action. And Ray Bolson has given us here the George Benson and Al Jarreau Giving It Up Super Disc, laser disc of the concert. So if you call up, any one of those prizes can be yours. Give us a call here at 362-0013. I'd like to go back a little bit here. June is kitchen and remodeling month, so get ready to spend some time outside. Call up the ABCs of Home Improvement. Get your barbecues fired up, and it's time to modernize your kitchens and baths. So if Mike is out there, I know Mike is out of the studio today. He's doing a benefit walk down in New York City with his family. Billy is down in Florida, and he is at his son's graduation. His son is graduating. Congratulations. And Elizabeth is, I don't know what she's doing out in California there, but she's unable to make the show today. She did send me a text. So you have the Solo Chateau Libo Durario show here today. And we just want to remind you folks, thanks for the emails and thanks for the compliments that we're getting on our site. We usually receive 20 to 30 emails a week from you folks out there who are afraid to call in with your questions. And we're glad to be of service. We want to educate the prospective consumer. And you may ask yourself, why do we want to do that? Well, we find that an educated consumer is a happy consumer. They learn what type of project they're going to undertake before they start the project. And this understanding about the parameters and the budget leads to everyone to a clean, finished product without too many surprises. There might be one or two, but without too many unexpected surprises. So we want to thank you folks for the emails. Last week we went out on 4 appointments for potential projects, so that was great. We're also getting comments about our newly posted video shows that we have up. If you go to our site, the ABCs of Home Improvement, you'll be able to review some of the programs that have gone on in the past, and you get to see a little of the fun and games that goes on inside the studio here, so visit our site for the replays. I'm going to take a moment here and bring the videographer and the video producer of the show out, because since we have an open mic here, I feel like we can introduce Joe Ascanio here. Joel has been working with Arc of Future for almost a year now, and he is in charge of our web production as well as our videography that's going up on the sites, and we're glad to have him with us. Joe, why don't you say good morning to all the folks out there on your premiere visit to the ABCs of Home Improvement in front of the mic.
Good morning, folks. Good morning, Lee. Thanks for having me on.
Excellent. Just a couple of quick questions, Joe, about your background, so the folks are out there, because I don't want to talk about myself for the whole hour. It's sort of egotistical, even though I'd love to do that. Why don't you tell us a little bit about how you got started in the production of this stuff and how you keep the action rolling here at the ABCs of Home Improvement?
Well, I started out, originally we started out with a logo, I think it was, Lee. I did a Frogman's logo, so we started from there, and I got to show a little bit of my talents there with a little bit of logo and some typography work. From there, we started working on some websites, and we developed the websites, and we're still in progress with all that stuff. And then we got into the video stuff, and now we're putting in transitions, making edits, getting the word out there that we're on the show, and we're putting out information that everybody should be listening to, and writing down and taking notes, folks. We're presenting you with lots of good information to keep your house looking great, and every day, we have different ideas that we like to put out there to get your house looking nice for the summer and through the next seasons coming up for the fall as well.
Excellent, Joe. Excellent. Yeah, we're enjoying the show. We're getting a lot of success here. And speaking of success, of course, we didn't give you the questions of the day. We were delaying that just to see if we get these phones ringing a little bit here, 362-0013, with some home improvement questions. But we do have a question of the week again, and it pertains to skyscrapers. Now, you don't hear that word too often, skyscrapers, because they seem to be an everyday occurrence, and they're not really as ominous as they were when they were first being built. But we're looking to find out what year the first skyscraper was built, who was the architect that designed it, and where is it located, or where was it located, since it's no longer standing. Not due to structural failure, just due to increased structural stability and the ability to go higher. Even though that was the first skyscraper, within a few years they took it down to make room for a larger, taller one. So those are your questions of the day, so feel free to give us a call on those. And of course, we have our motivational quote of the week, which we always like to give out to you folks to put on your refrigerators and keep yourself moving. We have the phone lines going. Motivational quote of the week. Who do we have there, Neil? Hey, it's Mike. All right, let's bring Mike on so he can join us. Good morning, Mike. How you making out
Good
out there?
morning, everybody. I'm down in New York City at Central Park. We just had a nice walk with the YAI group. We had thousands of people showing up, which the rain held up for us, which was great. So instead of staying for the entertainment, I want to make sure I got on the radio and be able to answer any questions that might come in regarding kitchen cabinets. So,
all right,
how are we
Mike.
doing so far?
Good. Well, you didn't. I don't know if you caught the front end of the show, but June is kitchen and bath remodeling month now, Mike. So you're in your glory for the next 30 days. And we told the folks out there to get ready with their barbecues and get ready to do some outdoor eating while they're remodeling their kitchens. Maybe you can just give us a little quick synopsis on the process on the remodeling of the kitchen and how long it should take and how long they should expect to be without home cooked food on the inside. You do the home cooking on the outside, but
I'll tell you, Lee, I should have opened up 6 restaurants in different areas with all the people I put out of their kitchen. It would have been a great idea for me. But normally, depending on how much is getting done, if they're just taking down the cabinetry and going back, that usually doesn't happen all the time. It all depends what the wish list now becomes, because actually things change. They might want to remove the cooktop from the peninsula. They might want to create an island this time. They might want to get a larger refrigerator. So all these new things on the wish list create a new situation where we have to include additional electrical, maybe move the plumbing, maybe additional cabinetry before, and the end result is a wish list that comes together with everything that the person, husband and wife, would like to see come together, and that's really important. As far as being able to live while this is going on, I usually put a refrigerator, a table, and a microwave in a dining room near the kitchen, well, because we usually seal it off entirely. And at that point, they can go on with a normal lifestyle. I do recommend paper plates. I do recommend things like, plastic forks and things of that nature.
Now, does M. Ash and Company supply the plates with their logos on it for the folks during the process? Mike, you with us? I think we lost Mike. Could be a bad cell signal down there in Central Park. All right, he'll probably call back in. I'm trying to make a joke. Maybe he got upset and he hung up on me. So let's get back to the motivational quote of the week that we were starting with. The quote of the week that we have this week for you folks is, ambition is the path to success. Persistence is the vehicle you arrive in. And this is from a great man who started out playing basketball and went into politics, Dollar Bill Bradley, the American basketball player for the New York Knicks. I thought I'd bring that up to maybe help the Knicks out next season, get themselves on the right leg, so to speak. So, and of course, we always have the mantra that Bill likes to put out there: quality is never an accident. It represents the wise choice of many alternatives. William Foster. So those are two that we like to live by here at the ABCs of Home Improvement. Give us a call here at 362-0013. We have a couple of emails that people sent in, so we're going to start something called the Email of the Week. And for the folks out there that are afraid to call in, we don't bite, so give us a call because we'd like to speak with you directly and actually give you guys some direct information. But the question of the week that we pulled out is, who do you call? Who do I call when I want to put on a small addition on my house? And what is the process? And this is from Ev over in Ramsey, New Jersey. So we're getting some listeners over in the Jersey side. And I'd like to address that one as far as how does the process work. There's many different ways to start. And at the beginning of the ABCs of Home Improvement show, we did go through the process of collecting your ideas. I guess this would be the first place to start when you're doing any sort of home improvement project, is collecting ideas, pictures, thoughts, and things that would pertain to your addition, what you're looking to provide for yourself, and then take all of that stuff together. And Mike says to put it in a notebook. He likes the marble notebooks for those who are digitally inclined. Here at the ABCs of Home Improvement, we are actually putting together a book, Joe, correct?
Yes,
that
sir. You're
working on. It's how to actually find a contractor, how to find a qualified contractor. And again, some people will call this is a good point if you would like. You can call the contractor, and they will come out, and the first question they'll ask you, or it might be the second, is, do you have any plans? Do you have any design layouts? Do you have anything to show them? And what you'll do is you'll walk around your house, and you'll give them some ideas, and ultimately the next question will come up is, what is the budget? How much are you looking to spend? Once those two are ironed out with the builder, unless he has a design studio inside his business, they're going to ask you to go and get some design drawings created from an architect. So you can go to the builders, feel them out, and then you're going to ultimately have to come to the architect. So, Joe, why don't you tell us just a little bit about the book? We're going to be offering that to folks if they give us their information on our ABC's of Home Improvement site, as well as the arcoffuture.com website. If you leave us your name and your number, we will allow you to either download the book, or if folks want hard copy, we'll be able to get the hard copies out to them. But, Joe, why don't you tell us a little bit about the book and how many pages and what it goes through and so on?
All right, absolutely. The book right now is looking like about 65 pages, and it basically outlines different things that you can do as far as, getting your project started. We have a little bit of information there about picking your architect and things to look out for. When you're talking about an architect, there's a lot of things that people might just overlook, just trying to get their project done. They might not think about something that I think is really important, which is personality. I think we have a call coming in. Let's give them a couple seconds. Maybe that's Mike coming back on.
Got a little feedback there, Neil. There we go. Okay. Mike, you on there with us?
I'm I'm back again. I guess I'm traveling up the West Side Highway and back up at this point, and might have hit a dead spot.
Yeah, a lot of those skyscrapers get in the way, since that's our question of the day. So, and those are the real skyscrapers down there. So,
Yeah, really.
So we were asking if the paper plates that the folks use when they're out there after you rip their kitchen apart, do you give them with the Mike Ash logo on them? Do you supply them the paper plates?
I've never done that. That's an interesting thought. I do tell people to get a hold of a canvas bag, a black and white composition book, and be ready to be able to collect samples of things that they would like to see in their kitchen, so they have it at any time they plan to make an excursion as far as going and look at some other items at the same time.
Maybe we got to put together a Mike Ash kitchen remodeling bag with all of those goodies in it, and of course, the logos on everything, Mike. This way, when the people are done, they can hand that off to their neighbors who are thinking about a remodeling project, and they'll actually get to see what it was like prior to the completion of the job.
They've all seen the befores. They can't wait to see the afters. That's for sure. They can't wait to come over for dinner.
That's nice, Mike. And what type of projects do you actually see going on right now? I know that you're opening up a store down there. You have some store down on Middletown Road.
It's actually going to be in Nanuet, 129 Main Street, right here in Nanuet, where it should be opening up before July 4th. Tomorrow, Sunday, there's a street fair in Nanuet, which we'll be showing, and then opening up our doors at that point for people who are interested in doing their kitchens. We'll be happy to help out at that point also.
That's excellent. That's people are going to be looking forward to that, I'm sure. So go and visit Mike. Is that today and tomorrow, Mike, or is that just tomorrow? When is that?
Strictly tomorrow. They're going to have it from 10 to 5. It's the Nanuet Street Fair right off 59 onto Main Street, which is Middletown Road, actually.
Right by the mall there, correct? Or the new shops?
Yeah.
The shops, not
right
the mall
around
anymore.
The shops. Yeah.
Excellent.
It's a great thoroughfare.
Well, we're going to go out. Listen, Mike, we're going to go out on a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to discuss a little bit more about kitchen remodeling and also just the bathroom remodeling, because we want to get into that since June is the start of Kitchen and Bath Remodeling Month, and see how you work with those people as well. So,
sure.
Neil will go out on a break. We'll come right back. Welcome back, folks, to the ABCs of Home Improvement, your home improvement encyclopedia. We have all kinds of giveaways here. All you folks have to do is pick up your phones, 362-0013. We've got digital 7-inch widescreen photo frames. We have George Benson, Al Jarreau giveaway Blu-ray discs for their whole concert. We have Vision in Action by Dave March. We have some iPhone 4 and iPhone 6 Plus cases. So call with a question. You don't even have to answer our question of the day.
Just call and say you love ABC at home.
There you go, Mike. Now you're talking. So, Mikey, we're talking about the project of the week, which ended in May, the cleanup. We did most of the cleanup, but again, a few of our emails, people really enjoyed that, and they wanted to keep the motivation going, keep the projects going. So our project of the week this week, for you folks out there, since it's still cool out, is go out, get yourself some sealer, and seal up the driveway. Again, this is truly the first place that your guests and your visitors see. And, after a few years, that macadam starts fading to a light grayish color, look worn down. Cracking, correct, Mike. So a nice fresh coat of black sealer on top of that, make your driveway look brand new, and it'll also be a great lead into your home for your folks that come visiting. So that's our project of the week. We're going to continue that, I guess, for the folks out there that really enjoyed that. They said keep it going. So we're going to keep it going. Again, 362-0013. Mike, I got Joe with me here. I got him out from behind the camera. So he's sitting next to me in the booth here. And
he's got a royal seat today.
He's got your seat, Mike. He's doing pretty good here. But, we figured we'd get back to you a little bit on the kitchen and bath thing because of June being Kitchen and Bath Remodeling Month. And tell us a little bit about...
it's amazing about bathrooms. The houses that we all get to live in are more than 20 years old, majority, unless you're building something new. And the plumbing always determines that the bathroom seems to be getting done first. You might want to plan doing some work in the house as other part of the rooms, but bathrooms take priority because they got to work, they got to be able to continue, and that seems on a regular basis. Now, the new bathrooms I see, wallpaper is not being used anymore. Paint is becoming a primary item. People are definitely enjoying large sinks, and sometimes they even like to do separate vanities for the people sharing that bathroom.
What about the tile? What about tile material and marbles and granites, Mike? Do you see that a lot out there?
I see tile constantly being used on the surrounds of the showers and the tubs. I see granite and marble and man-made materials being used on countertops and less laminate because it's a paper product that doesn't seem to have the wearability. But granite is primarily the number one item. Between that is number one, and the man-made corian and silstones and quartz seems to be the secondary type of items being used. And very special also is to do an undermount sink.
Wait a minute, undermount sink, just a little description. We know what it is here in the studio, but for the listeners, Mike, go ahead.
When you have a material that's waterproof, and you can put a sink below the countertop and just wipe down your countertop that easily without creating an area where a lip would stop you from moving the sponge with the water into the sink, it's a lot safer, a lot cleaner, and a lot easier to work with at that point.
So, Mike, basically what we're saying is that the sink is mounted underneath the surface of the top, underneath the countertop itself, the vanity top, correct?
Correct, and that's what we call an undermount sink.
That's nice.
It becomes molded and glued into the countertop. It looks like one piece when you're done.
So you don't get all that stuff around the edge of the lip sink that builds up along,
You don't have to take out a sharp edge knife anymore and clean out the rim. You don't have to go through that option of that accumulation altogether.
That accumulation, Mike. What is that accumulation called? We'll have to save that for another time. But it does get very messy there at the edge of a raised sink, and it's nice to see the clean lines of a sink that's recessed underneath the countertop like that.
I will tell you one thing, Lee. The majority of the bathrooms that are being done, we actually do a full gut, where everything is removed from the room, also include the sheetrock. At that point, we can actually visually see the plumbing in the walls. We can then increase the insulation on the exterior wall, and then probably update the window. Hopefully there's one in the bathroom, and start from that point on, because you don't want to spend all this money and then have a leak problem or another problem that creates a damaged situation of everything being put into this new bathroom and being new.
Now, Mike, the new bathrooms that you see out there, are most people splitting the vanities? I've noticed now a lot of the vanities, they no longer have doors and shelves underneath. A lot of them are open underneath. Special plumbing needs to be done so that it looks proper, where the sink base is actually exposed through the top of the vanity. Have you worked with any of those? Have you been able to do anything with those, and do you see those a lot?
I do. Where they basically came into this country were imports. They were doing a so-called upper cabinet, and the lowest section became an open, exposed shelf. So that became an area for towels and for other items that you use quite often and make things more visible. It's used a lot. There's also other items being done today, like sinks that are on top of the cabinetry. That looks like a bowl type of idea. That's being used. But primarily, the biggest request we're getting is separate vanity for the partners in the bathroom.
Partners.
So they both. Yeah, so that way they have a space for themselves. If you have a choice, I'd like to see a linen cabinet or a tall pantry and a vanity next to each other, and that would store everything you need while you're in the bathroom.
That's nice, Mike. And I know now they're also using glass tiles in the bathroom. What do you think of that, the use of recycled glass and things of this nature to sort of give a different accent, a different look to the bathroom?
It's very light and friendly, I'll tell you that. We do a lot of accents in kitchens, too, but bathrooms, it's gorgeous. This glass product is translucent to some degree. You can create a color in the background, or there's a color in the glass block itself.
Now, I'm doing a project now in Saddlebrook, New Jersey for these folks, and they wanted to make their bathroom larger, but they didn't have a lot of space. But a lot of folks have those 6-foot or 8-foot tubs that they very rarely use any longer. A lot of folk, people put them in their new homes just to have them, but after a while they don't use them. And the folks that have them in their bathrooms now seem to want to get rid of them because it's sort of a, they'd rather do a seeping tub and then maybe a shower combination now, it seems like, or more space for double vanities, like you're saying, a little more space to spread out a makeup area. So have you seen that in any of the projects you're doing?
Right now, if you have a standard house, 3-bedroom, main bathroom, and a master bathroom, the master bathrooms are being, tubs are being pulled if there's not enough room for a shower and tub. If you only have the one option, I see a lot of 4- and 5-foot showers being put in. Some are requesting steam units. They want to be able to spend time in their own bathrooms as if they were in a hotel. The same concept that you feel when you're away from home, you want to create in your own home to have that luxury feeling that you're getting. Your bathroom is something special as a place to retreat to, and that's a big deal right now. Also,
Nice.
Much more than ever before.
How about you, Joe? What do you think about bathrooms and kitchens? You're sitting here. I'm going to get you on the mic again.
Well, I was gonna say with the bathrooms and kitchens, when you're doing all this work on them, the thing that happens is that when you do get to go away, then you want to get home again because your bathroom ends up beating out these hotels. They just can't keep up with the different upgrades, like Mike's saying, with the translucent tile and all these things that are coming out, and the different kind of sinks that they have available now on the market. It's pretty exciting. So I mean, I'd say it's a good place to invest your money, and it's always adding a lot of good value to your home.
That's a great point. It does add a lot of value to your home to upgrade your kitchens and baths. I don't suggest that you do it right before selling, but if you think you're on your way out in 4 or 5 years, you'll get a quality of life boost, and then you'll also get a boost on the sale of the property when it comes down the road a few years from now.
I got to tell you, Lee, I don't like seeing people fix up their houses before they leave. I'd rather see them fix up their houses when they move in the first few years. To kind of get the full value of what can be done and be able to sustain it for the amount of time they spend in the house.
That's right.
I will tell you that the number one look I see right now is a white shaker door. Whether it's in the kitchen and or bathroom, that seems to be the primary door and color that allows accenting of other colors without a problem, whether it's a sea breeze green, a light gray. These other colors are now becoming accents with the regular white look that we're seeing now. So white stand-alone tubs, white shaker doors. I see all different color faucets being used, whether it's polished or brushed or pewter or whatever color. There's nothing right or wrong, but it becomes a matter of how do you want to see the handles and the look together in a modern bathroom.
Mike, that's unbelievable. That's good stuff. And, sometimes I see that people actually follow the hotels. Like Joe was saying, you go into a hotel and you see something there, next thing you know, it starts traveling into people's houses and homes. When they start doing renovations, they carry over some of those designer ideas into their homes. So
the only thing they're missing, Lee, is making the animals out of the towels. That's all.
Nice. Okay,
little
excellent.
figurines. The other thing you see in hotels also that becomes secondary in residential homes is the mounted vanities without cabinets below it all. They take a countertop, they have an apron underneath it, and they slot it for the toilet paper and the box tissues, and it becomes a very open area below and easy to maintain and clean.
And Mike, what is the average renovation cost of a small, like 5x8 bathroom in your, when you're going through it?
You're in the area of almost $20,000 by the time you do a full renovation. I think that's a legitimate number that you can actually foresee and be able to expect most things that you want.
Nice, Mike. And what really has changed over like the last 20 years in bathrooms and kitchens, as far as trying to say you go into a house that's 20 years old, and now you have to rip everything out and get to the guts and so on. What type of things do you see that have changed that have to be replaced before you?
Number one is what we call a balancing diverter. It's when they're hot and cold. When you pull the spout left or right or lift it or whatever, how it works. But that balancing item also controls the excess amount of heat, so children and younger people don't burn themselves. That's number one. Number two, most projects, whether it's a kitchen or a bathroom, will probably bring in additional electrical needs right from the home run, from the electrical circuit box, in order to handle the new toys that are coming in, whether it's a steam unit or a whirlpool or a jet system, or just because they're now adding things they've never had before. They maybe never had an exhaust fan. So all these things, you have to really open up the walls, make sure plumbing is clean, there's no deterioration at that point, and make sure the wiring's up to code, and make sure you have the outlets today that have the GFI with the ground fault interrupt, so that nothing happens in case an electrical appliance falls into a sink and or tub.
Nice. You don't want to affect your partner that way, Mike. You got to be careful. It could actually take them.
Accidents happen. That's what it's about.
Listen, we're getting a couple of texts in here while you're talking, Mike, and one of them is what's new or hot in the countertop area. And how about bamboo for cabinets? What do you see on those fronts?
I see bamboo coming in with other colors than the standard naturals right now. I see exotic woods coming in, but what you're going to see differently, these exotic woods will no longer be solid materials. They will be primarily veneers adhered onto a rigid panel like an MDF, and that will allow us not to clean out the forest as quick as they're going through at this point.
Yeah, well, the bamboo is actually invasive in some fashion, so to use it up like this for cabinetry and different structural projects, I think that's a good thing.
It's floors also.
Yeah, it's renewable, so it's definitely a renewable source. How about countertops, Mike? What kind of?
I'm doing a lot of granite now. It seems to be the primary item I'm selling.
Anything new, like with concrete tops or anything tile?
I have to have a project on right now that's in New City that'll be all concrete. And the reason that concrete was selected, because the island is over 10 feet, and it's pretty hard to get a slab of material more than 10 feet. So by doing concrete, we can then oversize the unit without having any seams in it, which became a real situation on this particular job.
Nice. Excellent. All right, we're going to go out on a quick break. When we come back, we'll have a little bit more from Joe and Mike on kitchens and bath remodeling. And we'll bring also a couple of more items, the green tip of the week. And the cool tool girl's not here, but we'll try and do something with the cool tool for the week as well. Welcome back, folks. ABC's a Home Improvement here to give you all the knowledge you need for your home improvement projects. And once again, Torn Valley Vineyards, the Tuxedo Motorsport Rally. Go see some great steel. Old classic cars, new cars, Maseratis, Porsches. I might be going up there shortly with one of my cars. I don't know. We're going to see how it goes. I have a wedding today at 3 o'clock. A good friend of mine is getting married.
Who's getting married?
John Sadowski's brother, Stefan, to Naomi. They're in from California. They're West Coasters, so I was going to have some fun with Elizabeth on that one, but she's not in today. So, but that's at 3 o'clock, so I have a little time to get down up Torn Valley and back. 1 to 5, the car rally, dry weather only, so it's good. Go enjoy some wine with those folks there. Wine tastings, $8. And Mike, where were we again? So, oh, wait a minute. You know, I forgot to mention to everybody out there, which is also because of this wedding, I can't hold the Belmont Stakes party that I like to have every year. The third step in the Triple Crown. And we want to actually know from the folks out there, anybody listening, I know if the doc is listening out there, he might have this answer. But what is the official drink of the Belmont Stakes? I mean, this is a good one. And we'll give you 2 prizes if you can come up with that answer. How's that? But you know, we have a lot to offer here on the show. Besides information, we have some good giveaways. But the drink itself, I mean, the official drink of the Belmont Stakes has changed numerous times. So if you can name all 3 official drinks that they've gone through since the early 40s and 50s when they've been running this race, we'll give you the hat trick prizes. We'll give you 3 prizes. So there you go. There's another one out there. Skyscraper, first skyscraper, where was it? Who designed it? What year was it built? And so on and so forth. So, Mike, actually, I was going to get...
It wasn't Lego blocks?
It wasn't? Yeah, can you imagine that, Mike? Well, since it is kitchen and bath remodeling month, Mike, we got you going, so we're going to continue. We did have an email question that I wanted to get to, but maybe we'll put that off till next week when everybody's back in the studio. Who do you call when you want to put a small addition onto your house, and what is the process? And I believe in our earlier shows we did go through that. That's Ev from Ramsey, New Jersey. I hope she's listening and she's getting some information. We did give her a little information at the front end of the show. Calling for some of our giveaways from the Magic Hat, Project of the Week. And what time do we have here, Mikey? 47. So we're talking about kitchens and baths. So I'm going to do the green tip of the week here as far as what does green building mean again? Designing or constructing in a technique that saves energy, water, improves health, air quality, includes products that are beneficial for the environment and reduce waste. This, since it is kitchen and bath remodeling month, Mike, we're going to talk about the fact that if you are doing a remodel, or even if you're not, energy-efficient equipment is your key to saving energy. Energy Star labels are on pieces of equipment, from washers and dryers, refrigerators, dishwashers, all the way down to your furnace and hot water heaters. These appliances offer significant cost decreases and energy savings without compromising performance. So at any point, again,
are you reading from the utility company special sheet?
well, here it is. The EPA, okay, Mike, okay, Environmental Protection Agency has deemed energy-efficient appliances to be called Energy Star. And with the Energy Star label, the consumer can choose their appliances and find the ratings. And those ratings are on the front of each appliance when you go to any of your appliance stores or home improvement stores. So now that you know that, you're doing a little for keeping America green and reducing our carbon footprint. So there you go, Mike. That's I wanted to bring that
I think some of the utility companies are actually picking up some of the old units at this point also.
I'm sure folks here in the Con Edison and in the Orange and Rockland utility distribution system are getting those. Give your refrigerators back, return the refrigerators, buy a new one in the mail. So if you're thinking about doing that, now's the time to do it. There's an incentive there. Besides saving energy, they'll come and take away your refrigerator for you, so you don't have to take it to the special facilities that are required for those types of units.
And I'll tell you what, you'll save a lot of money on your electric bill as well. I had actually upgraded a couple of years back my refrigerator and my AC up in my apartment in New York City, and I was looking at something like $280 a month on my electric bill with the old units, and something like maybe $85. So I mean, they were killing me. I couldn't. I was like, oh, maybe it's the summer. What's going on? And I'm trying.
That's why you have this job, Joe, to cover all those extra bills.
Yeah, you have to get a couple of jobs to cover just these electric bills.
Joe, that's good information. So see you folks out there. Here you go. First-hand information on how to save. I mean, if you figure out the math there, 60% almost on your energy bill by replacing some of those old units. TVs also. Anybody with an old.
So noisy and everything else. Even
yeah, and the aesthetic of it is wonderful. I mean, you got the stainless steel now, and you got the ACs look completely different how they did a couple of years back, you know.
Yeah. So it's time to get out there and get to your appliance centers and upgrade some of your appliances to reduce your carbon footprint and keep America green. So, Mikey, a little bit more. Let's get back. We were talking about the countertops and so forth, and in the bathrooms and so on. What else? What are the standard kitchen costs, Mike? Like a standard, let's talk about like a raised ranch. When you go in, because I know we're in a couple of real estate investment clubs together, and you work with some of those folks there, and we did see some of those products that you put together and designs. What is the minimal cost involved?
Let me give you an idea. A basic cabinetry alone that I'm seeing in a primary job, without going too large a house, okay? I think you're in the range between $13,000 and $20,000 on cabinets.
Okay, now Mike, is that cabinets without installation? Is that cabinets installed?
That's just material.
Okay, go ahead.
So now you've got a 13 to 20 on cabinetry. You've got countertops coming in between 15 and 3,000, depending on what the size is and of that nature. Then you've got tile going on the backsplash, which could run between 5 and 2,500. And then you've got plumbing and electrical, which will run between 15 and 3,500. And then you've got the actual labor and everything else from that point of view. So let's say we're doing a basic kitchen with electrical and plumbing and everything. I would think an average labor cost would be approximately about $17,000.
So, Mikey, and is that with relocating plumbing, or is that just putting things back? Okay, so
no, that's a little bit of relocating also.
So you're in the $30,000 to $40,000 range before you blink an eye on some of these projects.
Majority, that's what seems to be going on with it. I haven't seen projects come in less than 20 in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
It's just because of trades and because of expenses, because of energy-saving cost factors today. Things have definitely gone up in value.
And Mikey, when you add this stuff to you do a whole job like this and you spend this kind of money, what kind of return value on the investment do you get? Would you happen to know that?
That's a good question, Joey. The first 7 years, you get approximately 80% back in your cost.
Uh-huh.
And that's amazing because even at the end of the 7 years, you got 80% value right there. And that's guaranteed almost at this point, what we're seeing on returns. So if you're selling your house and you put, let's say, $30,000 into your kitchen, you're going to have probably about $24,000 to $26,000 valued right there, and it'll still hold its own for a while.
Yeah, and these real estate investors, they put their money into the baths and the kitchen, so those are the ones where you get the biggest bang for the buck.
Tell me about it. I meet them all the time also, Lee.
Yeah. So a little bit more, Mike, on the kitchens, and then we're going to go through the questions of the day and the Belmont drinks, and then we're going to sign off and go have some fun at the wedding.
I hear you. It should be fun. I think what's really important, people have to collect ideas. They have to look through what they think they want, look at families and friends, what they've done, see what's on the TV shows, these TG-type shows that are out right now. Get an idea what's moving. Right now, like I mentioned before, the shaker door in white. I see the man-made and granite tops being a realistic item. I see the new energy-saving appliances being definitely involved. I see the new refrigerator, what they call a French door, with 2 doors on the refrigerator and a freezer on the bottom being used primarily all the time. Dishwashers are pretty much all the same, 24, depending on the level you want to spend. Cooktops and range tops are interesting also. Cooktops are the basic tops, and range tops are more or less like a commercial top with the big knobs down below. Wall ovens only come about when you see a very large kitchen. Majority of kitchens primarily are 30-inch ranges with a micro above because of lack of space in the room. Bathrooms, if you can, you want to have 2 vanities if your 2 people are using the room. Showers are primarily going into master bathrooms alone, but they have the space. Showers and tubs will be in a master. The main bathroom with the Jack and Jill type crowd, the kids, would always have a bathtub. Would always have a vanity with either one or, if possible, a second sink if there's more than one child. And I see white being a primary function and slight accent colors at the same time, too.
Nice. Mikey, you just designed the whole place for us over the air. It's great.
When you do it over 30 years, I got to tell you, I'm pretty comfortable doing it again. Not a problem.
That's it. Well, Mike, the folks out there should take down your number, 914. Go ahead, Mikey.
914-525-8100. If you want to check out my website and get an idea of what I do, it's Mike at mikeash.com, A-S-C-H, and I'll be more than happy to work with people. I primarily work with nice people. That's my primary object.
Well, that's because they call you Mr. Nice, Mikey. That's it. And of course, Mike's website is linked up to the ABCs of HomeImprovement.com website, and you can see all of our other supporters and our references that we have there for projects that we've done, as well as the contractors that we recommend. They're all there.
You have to remember, we only recommend guys that are nice also.
That's right, exactly. So, Mikey, let's get to the Belmont Stakes here.
Ready. The weather's gorgeous.
Okay,
now.
in the last 147 years, Mike, of the race since its inception, the drink has changed numerous times. But since 2011, it's been called the Belmont Jewel. Okay, for you, the Jewel. Okay, and why is it called the Belmont Jewel? Because they consider the Belmont Stakes the 3rd jewel in the Triple Crown. So
that's right.
There you
go.
Could
be something special going on too.
A refreshing combination of bourbon, lemonade, and pomegranate juice over ice. But it hasn't been as long distilled as the traditional mint julep, nor the same recognition as the black-eyed Susie, because it's changed several times. What was it before the Belmont Jewel, Mike? Any idea?
Tulips or something.
Very well. You're close. It was at one point called the White Carnation, but before it was the White Carnation, it was the Belmont Breeze, Mike. They called it the Belmont Breeze, okay? And before that, it was the White Carnation because that's what they draped the horses with, the White Carnation cape there, as they would come to the winner's circle when they win. And very briefly, for a short period, they had a little identity crisis in 1975. The drink was called the Big Apple. And
now you're talking.
Yeah, there you go. So a New York Times article on the Belmont Stakes called the Big Apple one of the better drinks that they made, but it was only there for a year or so. Sold a lot of glasses and so on and so forth. They're thinking
souvenirs. That's all
they're going to sell many thousands of drinks, and they have over 7,500 commemorative glasses for the Triple Crown today down there at Belmont. So tune it in. Go put a little money on something there. You never know, the long shot. You could do your home improvement bath or kitchen over if you hit it. And there's a lot of opportunity there with the horses that are running. So enjoy the Belmont Stakes today. What about our questions, Mike, that we had? The world's first skyscraper. Any ideas on that? Now, some people might. Yes. Okay. Where was it? Who designed it? Who was the architect? And what year?
Before the Empire State Building?
Yes, way before. Okay. Now this is okay. It goes back to March 1st, 1884, Mike. Okay.
84.
Yeah, and we're in Chicago, the home of Louis Sullivan, who really is credited with the first skyscraper called the Wainwright Building, but it's actually not. The first skyscraper was by William LeBaron Jenney, and he was the architect of the Home Insurance Building in Chicago. And this was the first time that they were able to build a 10-story building topped off at 138 feet, and it was using a metal frame. So in the old days, before you used the metal frame, when this, again, Industrial Revolution information, you had to build the buildings with thick masonry bases. So the higher the building got, the thicker the base had to be to carry the levels above. And what has happened when the steel started coming and the invention of the elevator, they were able to stretch out the panels and use infill. So they used the steel as the structure, and then they went around it with masonry units, and you were allowed to actually create more glass area and so forth. So
got more modernized.
More modernized. That building was taken down to make room in 1890, and they put up the Pioneer skyscraper there. So
you can tell you're an architect. You love all this stuff.
Yeah, listen, and I was listening earlier to Buckminster Fuller and to Frank Lloyd Wright here at the earlier shows, and it's nice to see that they were throwing around some hay houses with adobe on them. So architecture sort of goes into all different areas, Mike.
Oh, I know.
So, Joe, you have anything you want to add? Since it's your first time in front of the mic, you'll be able to see our videographer on the rerun here, the video rerun on the ABCs of Home Improvement.
No, just check us out on the site, www.theabcsofhomeimprovement.com, and give us some recommendations, stuff you want to see up there. Give us some ideas of different things, and we'll be happy to get that up there right away for you. We're happy you guys are listening, and check us out next week, and check the site out.
All right, excellent. And don't forget Torn Valley Vineyards, the Tuxedo Motorsport Rally, okay? 1 to 5 up there. Go say hello from the ABCs of Home Improvement, and maybe they'll give you a free ride in the Maserati through the vineyards, okay? Everybody have a great week. Enjoy the Belmont Stakes. Congratulations to Stefan and Naomi. Have a great week.
Have a good